Alright guys, so a lot of people have been asking me exactly who to use, Eclair cookie or cotton cookie. If you guys know that those two are going to be the best supports inside of the game right now, and people are wondering who is going to be the better option for you and your team, because a lot of people are saying Eclair is super broken and that you need to use Eclair, and some people are saying that cotton is broken and you need to use cotton in your team. And honestly speaking, both groups are not wrong, and because Eclair cookie and cotton cookie are both absolutely busted right now and will be pretty much inside of the top rank for each category for every single game mode, I have to say that cotton cookie and Eclair cookie are pretty much one of the best cookies to use inside of the game. And if you guys have watched my top 5 of the epics that you should be building and you won't regret building, then cotton as well as Eclair are both inside of that list. But that really doesn't help the question of, hey, who do I use if I have to choose between Eclair cookie and cotton cookie? And that's why I am making this video. So before we can answer that question, let's really quickly go over exactly what Eclair cookie as well as cotton cookie does inside of the game. So if you guys look at it, they are both support cookies, but Eclair cookie and cotton cookie kind of have a different role inside of the game. So even though they are support, something is different when it comes to their active skill. So if you look at Eclair cookie's skill, it is a 16-second cooldown skill, and it is going to be causing a weakness debuff. Alright, then that means that the cookie or the enemy who has this debuff on is going to be receiving 25% extra damage for 40 seconds. So if you are supposed to deal 100 damage, then they will actually take 125 damage instead. So if you do constantly stack this, which is stackable, and it says right here the effect can be stacked up to 4 times, it means that you can actually deal double the damage if the enemy has up to 4 stats, aka bosses, right? So if you're dealing 100 damage instead of 100, you'll be dealing 200 damage, and that is very important when it comes to any of the boss battles as well as arena, and it can change the tide of the battle. Alright, so as well as a extra effect in his skill, he actually provides an HP shield 25% of the max HP for 3 seconds to every single one of the cookies if you are able to kill or defeat an enemy who has that weakness debuff on them. Alright, so if you're inside of the arena and the Sea Fairy has that weakness debuff and you're able to kill off that Sea Fairy, then all of your cookies are going to be receiving a 25% of the shield of their max HP for 3 seconds. So if you want to compare that directly to pure vanilla, who is going to be providing a 20% of the max HP for 3 seconds, you can see that Eclair cookie's shield has about 5% more, which is really good, and it will change the tide of the battle as well. So Eclair cookie can really come in clutch if you guys are actually using him inside of the arena as well. And also, if you did not know, Eclair cookie does actually do damage, and Eclair cookie is going to do a massive amount of 841% of his attack to 3 of the enemies. Alright, so really you gotta see that Eclair cookie is really good. Alright, so he obviously does that debuff, he provides shield to your team as well as does a massive amount of damage. But right now, let's go into cotton cookie and see exactly what cotton cookie does. So if you guys look at cotton cookie's skill, cotton cookie is going to have a 17-second cooldown instead of a 16-second cooldown, so it is a 1 extra second on the cooldown. You can see that cotton cookie is going to be actually healing. She's going to be healing for a total of 9 seconds, and every 1 second of that 9 seconds she is going to be healing 17.3% of her attack to every single one of the cookies. And of course, that does not have an area restriction. It kind of works like parfait skill, so as long as she has it active and she is alive, she is going to constantly every 1 second heal your teammates. Also, she is going to be increasing the attack of the summoned units. Alright, it's only for the summoned units for 75% as long as her lantern is lit. Alright, which means that when she has her skill active, okay, and of course she has to be staying alive because the lantern needs to be active, right? So if you are using her inside of the summoner comp, she is going to be doing a massive amount of damage, as well as increasing the damage of other summon unit like Pompon, as well as Licorice minions, as well as someone like Snow King. And also she is going to be summoning a sheep herd, and that sheep herd is actually going to be dealing 124.5% of Cotton Cookie's attack, as well as will have 157.8% of her defense, as well as 111.4% of her HP. So she is going to actually summon sheeps, which are pretty tanky, as well as does a lot of damage. 124.5% of Cotton Cookie's attack. That is a lot. Alright, and also you gotta keep in mind that when Cotton Cookie is alive, the lantern is lit, which means that the sheep are actually going to be dealing 75% more damage because of that buff. And also, if you guys did not know, the sheep herd actually stuns the enemies when they are summoned, because they are actually going to be summoned and run towards the enemy, causing 1 second stun for every single sheep that lands on the enemies. Just keep in mind that Cotton Cookie's role is a little bit different than Eclair Cookie, and really gotta say, although they can fit inside of any team really, right? Cotton Cookie provides heal, support, as well as attack, damage, tank, whatever it is. You know, Cotton Cookie really has everything, okay? But Eclair Cookie, on the other hand, is more for the damage, right? Extra damage, extra sustain. In case of, you know, you need a clutch, then you do have Eclair Cookie's weakness debuff as well as that shield. All right, so the main thing that comes down to whether you want to choose Eclair Cookie or Cotton Cookie comes down to what kind of cookie you need inside of your team. So if you are using a team that has a good heal as well as good tank, but you want to have a little bit more attack, then you go with Eclair Cookie, because you want to have Eclair Cookie's debuff, alright, that weakness debuff, to deal extra 25% of the attack, as well as deal Eclair's massive 841% of the attack. Alright, so if you guys look at my arena team right now, then you guys can see that I do have both you know, Eclair and Cotton in different teams. So as you guys can see right here, Eclair is going to be in this team. Why? Because I have Pure Vanilla and also have Coco and Hollerbear in the front. So I do have a good healer, alright, a good massive amount of heal and the burst heal from Pure Vanilla, as well as a little bit of constant heal from Coco and a good tank from Hollerberry. And that is the reason why I'm using Eclair as my secondary DPS alongside Frost Queen, and will be constantly be able to put that weakness debuff on the enemies. But when it comes to something like this, alright, where I do need extra sustain and I am pretty much using a semi summoner comp, then I do focus on using Cotton Cookie. Cotton Cookie is going to be amazing to work as a secondary heal, or even your primary heal if you do not have any other cookies. Alright, so you can use Cotton Cookie. And then also, if you guys are using a summoner comp or any of this extra summon unit like Pompon or Snow King, as well as Licorice minion, then you can actually pair them up with Cotton Cookie to deal extra damage with her buff. So here is the main question that you really want to ask yourself when you guys are deciding to use either Cotton Cookie or Eclair Cookie. It's gonna come down to what you are lacking. So if you're lacking extra heal and you want some extra, you know, damage plus healing, then go with Cotton Cookie. Cotton Cookie is going to be able to heal your team a decent amount of HP, as well as provide that extra tanking and damage with the sheep. And that is still going to happen even if Cotton Cookie does die in middle of the battle. And also, if you are looking for extra damage and something like guild boss battle or boss battle, and you need that extra damage to actually clear the stage, then go with Eclair Cookie. Okay, Eclair Cookie is going to be amazing and will provide a lot of extra damage from not only him but for your other cookies as well, because they are going to be dealing extra damage because of Eclair Cookie's weakness debuff. However, you can see that in my actual world exploration team, I've actually used both of them. Alright, so you can see that Cotton Cookie as well as Eclair Cookie are in it. You know, they do a massive amount of damage. I have actually cleared, if you guys watch my 12-30 dark mode, when I did this, right, with Dark Choco, Cotton, Eclair, and Sorbet did a lot of damage. However, Cotton and Eclair Cookie were not far behind. It just shows that even though they are supports, they are really legendaries or ancients in disguise of an epic cookie. And I gotta say, even if you don't decide on using both of them, having both of them leveled up and prepared for any of the team composition or any of the extra, you know, switches that you need, you won't regret it at all. And I have to say, of course, if you have to decide on one of them, make sure to ask that question once again. Who do I need? All right, do I need a healer who can actually deal extra damage as well on the side? Then go with Cotton. If you just need pure damage and you want that extra weakness debuff and the shield that can come in clutch, then go with Eclair cookie. Alright, and I did make a toppings video so that you guys can go and look exactly what toppings I do recommend and what substats that I'll recommend on each of those cookies. And I will be making a separate video on each Eclair cookie and cotton cookie so that you guys exactly know what kind of substats are good for them, and also some of the specific teams that you can use with each of the cookies. Anyways guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Just wanted to quickly compare Eclair cookie as well as cotton cookie and answer the question who is gonna be better and who you should use for your team. And really is going to come down to that question of who you are lacking and who you really need inside of the team. But I do want to recommend, if you do have the slot and you have the skill powder and the EXP star jelly, just level up both of them and use them. You're not going to regret it, right? So that is what I really want to say. And hopefully that the next support won't be as broken as Eclair and Cotton, because we're running out of skill powder. We're running out of the actual materials to level up these guys and use them. So hopefully this is just actually add something other than a support for the next update. Anyways guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys found it helpful and answered that question of who is going to be the better option. And if you guys did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as the like button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you guys will miss out on any future Cooking Kingdom videos as well as live streams that I do on YouTube. Anyways guys, thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you guys all next time.